about you, but I'm having a pretty good day, I can tell you that. So, welcome to this press conference to talk about our exciting project. You can see some people who have been pretty strong supporters throughout, sitting behind me. Members of the Normal Town Council, Kevin McCarthy, Kimberly Cummings, and Karen Smith. State Representative Dan Brady, our Economic Development Officer, Patrick Hoban, Keith Cornell, President of Heartland Community College, John Penn from Laborers International, John Davenport, representing Larry Dietz, who's in balmy Vietnam right now, and our city manager, Pamela Reeves. So it's my pleasure today to welcome Rodney Davis and Darren LaHood, who could not make it today. His schedule got tied up, but he really wanted to be here. And welcome to the Uptown Station and our community, and all of you from our community as guests for this wonderful occasion we're about to talk about. So, turn the page. Congressman Rodney Davis has worked diligently for us in Washington, D.C. in partnership with Senators Durbin and Duckworth and Congressman Darren LaHood to advocate for this key project that we're talking about today that eliminates barriers, increases safety, improves accessibility, and opens up economic development opportunities to benefit the entire community. The town has worked closely with our congressional delegates, our state partners, the Union Pacific Railroad, and community members for more than 4 years to make this project come forward. We are thrilled to learn that the federal and state dollars will be returning to the town of Normal to support this innovative project, which provides safe, fully accessible path for passengers, rail passengers, trail users, and residents to get from one side of the railroad tracks to the other in a seamless and without delay. Not only does this project support mobility and accessibility, but it also supports economic development opportunities intended to strengthen our community. We anticipate that about 400 jobs will be created just during the construction phase, and future development in the area south of the tracks will transform existing public property into productive uses that meets community needs. Many residents and passionate community leaders have supported this project through letters of support and words of encouragement. The town is grateful for all who have expressed support, and we're excited to celebrate this exciting announcement. We also look forward to working with our partners and the public as this project takes shape. Because this is a community project, we will be seeking public input at multiple points during the planning and design development phases, and in order to ensure we are best meeting the needs of all users in this high traffic area. So this build grant that we received today, this grant is, or was announced today, are highly competitive. I can't tell you the number of dollars, probably 20 times the dollars requested to the dollars available. And we appreciate the trust of our federal and state partners that have in our team and our projects and our ability to deliver. So at this point, I would like to introduce our congressman from this area, Congressman Rodney Davis, who has done a lot over the years to help this community and to help this project specifically.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's great to be able to represent a community like the town of Normal. You have great leadership in your mayor, who has been diligently advocating for this project along with the town council. I know many of you are here, folks who used to serve on the town council, some who do now. This project was always at the forefront of any advocacy done on your behalf as a resident of the town of Normal. While your representatives were in Washington, D.C., or I was here, or frankly, if I saw them on the sidewalk walking around the ISU campus, they would talk about this project. So yesterday was a great day when I was actually out of state doing other events out on the West Coast, as a matter of fact, and I saw a meeting pop up on my schedule, a phone call from Secretary Elaine Chao. Note to self, when you're in my shoes and you get a call from Secretary Chow, it's usually good news. So I was really excited, but I wondered to myself, which one? What's she going to call me about? And I was extremely excited when she let me know that 13 million of your taxpayer dollars from the federal government that you sent are going to come right back here to the town of Normal to make sure that this project that's been at the forefront of One Voice here in Bloomington Normal, has been at the forefront of the town of Normal and this entire region, and everybody from those who are going to help build it, our laborers are here. I see them, I see the trades. Everybody, this project is going to get 13 million of your taxpayer dollars back. That's a big deal. But it takes partnership. You know, we also know 13 million is not going to finish the job. And that's why it's great to have partners like Representative Dan Brady at the state level, because he and our other colleagues that represent Bloomington Normal, they're going to be the ones to help us get even more of your tax dollars coming back to our community to make this project a reality. And I will tell you, I negotiated one special deal with Secretary Chow yesterday. I know what you're saying. Oh, that's got to be part of the DC swamp, you know. The tuition I pay at ISU can be counted towards a match. So just let Larry Dietz know, okay? All right. I'm kidding, of course, media. Derek, don't write that as serious, okay? All right. Look, this is a big deal today, but it's really an honor because I only get a chance to serve you in Washington because I'm blessed enough to have the support of so many in and around our communities. Mayor Coos talked about this being a very, very competitive program, and it is. And I wish I remembered what Secretary Chow told me yesterday about the amount of applications that were awarded versus the amount of applications that were requested. And to rise to the forefront, to be one of the victors in that competition, trust me, I wish it was all Darren LaHood and me and our senators. I don't want to downplay our partnership together because Darren is a great partner to represent McLean County, and he and I have been pushing this project together as our one voice, as our Bloomington Normal in the House of Representatives. But it also takes the support, the bipartisan support of our two senators. And yesterday's announcement shows you, though, the hard work the locals put in. Because the people, when you apply for a build grant, the people that are judging this don't just judge who represents you in Washington. They judge the application that was put together by the folks who work on your behalf in our communities, like those here in the town of Normal, putting these applications together and making that rise to the top. That's a big deal. And the folks that do that work don't get enough credit. So I'm asking each and every one of you, please give City Manager Reese and those who helped put this application together the biggest round of applause, because without that, we would not be here. Lastly, because my twin boys who are freshmen are at ISU, this is a benefit to me too. My daughter's there too, but you'll understand why I was leaving her out on this. I don't necessarily trust my 19-year-old boys to cross the track safely. Let alone the school children who now have to walk around the block to get to the other side. This is an innovative project that made sense not just here. It made sense in Springfield and continues to make sense, but it made sense right here in the town of Normal. You guys have done well today. I'm very proud to be able to stand here with you in partnership, and I cannot wait for the groundbreaking, and more importantly, I can't wait for the ribbon cutting, because that's going to be a great day. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations, and appreciate all you do.
Well, I'd like to say they saved the best for last, but you just had the best. And what a great day it is for the town of Normal and for all of us here in whatever aspects you represent, whether it's the trades, as Congressman Davis indicated, the town of Normal, all the people who have worked hard on this project. And the state of Illinois does have a stake in this as well. Through the Illinois Commerce Commission, we've committed $1.25 million that we are going to be responsible for to be part of this program. So there's more coming, but we've got to keep the work going, ladies and gentlemen. And I agree with Congressman Davis from the standpoint, I believe that the majority of my constituents want to have good, safe, and convenient public transportation throughout the state of Illinois. And they are willing to see their tax dollars, their hard-earned tax dollars, go towards projects for this that makes that a reality. And together, we'll continue the good work on behalf of the people we represent. Thank you.
Members of the press, if you have questions, I think this would be the time to do that. Hopefully they're all for you. Not sure.
Also for Mayor Coos, actually, in this instance, how are you going to get the rest of the money? How do you get to the initial application called for a $24 million project? This is only $13 million. How do you get the rest of the way?
Well, the same way we got the first pot of money. We work at it, we talk to our partners to invest. We'll also have to take a look at the project because we asked for 16 million, we're down to 13 million. So we've got some value engineering to do. It's our fervent desire to get this to the point where the local match is a reasonable match.
I'll say one thing. It's a good problem to have right now. You know, there are a lot of communities that submitted applications that I represent. And, you know, the excitement that we feel here today is now disappointment in their areas because they weren't awarded. They would have been glad to take part of what they applied for, just like this in this instance. But the key is the resources, the application process, the entire competition is so competitive that to be able to get the $13 million, I know the folks here in Normal, like Mayor Coos, they're willing to figure out a way to get things done because that's what local governments do every single day. And I'm proud to be able to stand here and offer our assistance and help you make that happen.
And from the state side, the capital bill that we just passed, and we haven't had a capital bill in the state since 2009, and the capital bill that we just passed will be a 5-year plan. There will be funds that may be type of earmarked funds that can go to try and help projects like this. So as the mayor and as Congressman indicated, there are other avenues out there, and we are going to obviously be pursuing those other avenues.
If there would be high-speed rail, is this something that would have to be done?
You know, high-speed rail is not the driver on it. Mostly the driver on it is the fact you have passenger rail and freight rails on a double-track system. And there are many times where you can have Amtrak passengers offloading on the south platform and are not able to get to the north platform in a convenient period of time because a long freight train is coming through. And also the double track adds another level of safety that we have to be very aware of. You know, we've got fencing and quad gates and pedestrian gates, but that's not 100% effective all the time. So to give people a safe option is an important part of this process. And the piece I think that keeps getting neglected in this conversation is the fact that it's an economic driver. We've already got interest in developments on the south side of the tract, and we're waiting for something like this to happen. So they have a clean and convenient connection to what's already happening in the uptown area.
What kind of time frame are you looking to eventually go underneath?
We have a lot of work to do. You know, I referenced a little value engineering to do. We've got coordination with the railroad, the FRA, Department of Transportation. We've got scheduling to do, final design to do. So there's a fair amount of work. I don't want to put a timeline on it right now. You could probably ask me that question in a month or two. I'd have a better answer.
You know, we've got work to do too. The state of Illinois did their work. In a bipartisan way, they passed a capital bill that was a very tough vote, but it took courage to be able to say we want to invest your tax dollars in local infrastructure. We've got to work at the federal level to also put together a long-term highway reauthorization. It's the reason I've asked to be the lead on our subcommittee on highways and transit. It's the largest subcommittee in Congress. So we've got more work to do at the federal level to ensure that we have the long-term federal transportation dollars that each and every one of you pay with your federal gas tax every time you fill up your car. We have to have a plan to distribute those funds, those tax dollars, your tax dollars, to our local DOTs to be able to match up with the funds that Dan and the folks in Springfield have made available to work on projects like this throughout the state of Illinois, and in my case, throughout the country.
I'd like to ask John Penn if he's willing to make a comment on what 400 jobs means to the local neighborhood community, and also if you guys plan to have any kind of stake in what might be happening in Uptown South with housing.
Well, when you put people to work, that's income. It's health insurance. It's a retirement plan. So it means a lot to the men and women. I see the president of building trades here, Michael Rakes, would echo that same comment that we'll be putting people to work, better life for their family. As far as any development in town, hopefully we're involved in. One thing that going through my mind, these pension funds have infrastructure that we maybe need to tap into. I know City Manager Reese won't be shy about asking us to look at our infrastructure through our pension funds to participate in this fund, and I would think that we'd be taking a hard look at that. But jobs are jobs, that means good living for our people.
Good? Good. Thank you, everyone.